I trust we have been fine. Alright, this night you're welcome back again to Wisdom Akaba Life and Business Coaching Center. And for this night discussion, we're looking at a very interesting discussion. A discussion that buttresses the fact that life is filled with ups and downs. A discussion that points to the fact that life itself has its period of happiness, its periods of elation, its period of sadness. That life is a journey and not a destination. Life can be rosy just now, and the next moment, it's a journey filled with a rough edges. And that's why we need to create more of this awareness and at the same time see how to encourage each other, see how to hold the hands of each other while we navigate our paths, look for the right way, the right path towards life journey, and how to arrive at our desired destinations. We all know that someday, we'll get to the point where we leave this world, but we can still make impact in the science of time. Hence the need for this very discussion. So if you're just connecting, you have with you here Coach Wisdom Akaba. So you're actually in the right place. And this channel, as the name implies, Wisdom Akaba Life and Business Coaching Center. It's a coaching center, but streamlined to 4 major areas. So if you're a lover of health-related content, a lover of business-related content, a lover of motivationals, a lover of religious-related content or educational-related content, you can settle down at this point because this is the right place for you. Okay? So this night, we want to begin a series titled When Life Happens. It's a series that will give so many persons inspiration to desire new. At some point, more lovely and beautiful YouTubers you admire out there would connect to this very discussion as we progress with the series. So ensure you don't miss any part of this very series, okay? Just a moment, please. Just a moment. Let me respond to something. Just a moment. All right, so I think we can continue now. All right, we can continue now. Thank you so much, Machado. Thank you so much. It's so nice having you here, my new friend. Thank you so much for being here, okay? I'm so grateful for having you here. So, as I earlier said, we are onto a new series titled When Life Happens. It's a motivational series, okay? And it hopes to inspire persons who are at the verge of giving up. It hopes to show persons who do not see light in their at the face of their journey where they are as at this point, that indeed there is light at the end of the tunnel. It looks forward to give those persons who are about breaking down, who are about giving up on their ethics, that indeed you can still stand strong, hold firm to your ethics. So please do well not to miss any part of this very series, because there are lots on the table for the taking. There are indeed a lot on the table for the taking. Okay, so if you are new to this channel and you are yet to subscribe, please do well to subscribe. Okay, and if you are yet to give this live stream a thumbs up, do double tap on your screen, okay, to give this very live stream a thumbs up. Double tap on your screen to give this live stream a thumbs up. All right, it indeed gives me great pleasure having all of you here. So do well to get friends and family connected. If you know someone out there that's already giving up on hope, please connect them. This is the right place for them, okay? So, as I said earlier, though this very series would feature several persons as it lasts, okay? So, but for today, I will be the main person to anchor this very discussion. So, when you have questions, please do well to put it down in the comment box. Where you have recommendation, where you have suggestion, where you have contribution to make, do well to comment in the comment box, okay? So I believe as at this point you have double tap on your screen just to give this live stream a thumbs up. All right, thank you so much if you have done so. The Machados, thank you so much for having you here. I'm so grateful for having you here, okay? So as we said, when life happens is the title of the series. So life, as I earlier said, is actually a journey. It's not a destination. There's no point in life you can hold on to and you feel that you have arrived. Life in itself is made up of variety. The beauty of life is in variety. And the craving to meet this expectation of variety have caused most persons, some crash land, some never saw the light of the day again. Some who were even looking for how to make it out there, they're already in the mud as we speak. A lot of them never hope or do not see that there could be a help as at the state where they are. And I say life is so as I said, life is so unpredictable that this moment is all rosy, everyone is smiling, the weather is clear, and the next moment is stormy. So when life happens, tends to show the twist of things. The twist might be on the positive, the twist might be on the negative, right? So when life happens, shows the twist. It refers to the twist, that unexpected twist that comes with living, with you being a human. Thank you so much, Blessing, for having me here. So grateful for having you here, okay? Hope you can get me clearly, right? Thank you so much, Peace. I'm so grateful for having you here. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, okay? So, it can be challenging and unpredictable. That's life. Life journey can be challenging and unpredictable. It's full with ups and downs, and here is positive development for this topic. I want to start with letting us know that the fact that you are the one giving hope out there today doesn't mean that life doesn't happen or life can't happen to you. One moment you can be sparkling, and the other moment it all turns. But what would you be doing as at the face when life happens to you? What would be your decision? Would you compromise your stance? Would you compromise your standard? Would you compromise your integrity? So there was this pastor, one He never believed that he could even make it in ministry. He was struggling. And then when the struggling phase was almost like it's over, he got married, marriage that was filled with a lot of support just to help him out. And luckily enough, the marriage ended up in praise. And then he had the number of children he wanted. And one day, this very pastor, this very clergyman, went to a burial of a member. And whilst at the burial ground, while they were giving a lot of tributes, a lot of persons were speaking about the deceased, how good he has been, how much he has helped many persons out there, and the hope looking forward that maybe as he has passed on, possibly is in the bosom of the Most High, hopefully resting in peace. And the clergyman watching at the other end how the relatives were crying, how the family was, they were almost unconsolable. He was carried away with compassion. He was beaten down by the pains they are facing. And I could imagine him trying to search for words just to encourage, just to motivate the family. I could imagine him trying to strengthen them. And as nature will have it, as God will have it, the burial ceremony finished, and then he headed home for his house. And upon arrival to his house, only to notice that people were gathering around his compound. And he was wondering what could cause such a mammoth crowd around his compound. At that point, he saw that his house was fuming with flames and smoking, and his children, he had about 2 children, in there in that fire that was cut off. So the house that was set ablaze had with it his children. And that very house wasn't just any other residential home. It was also, that was his church. That was where his ministry was resided. So, okay, sorry for this. Okay, I wanted to confirm something. So that was where his ministry, the church, was built on. And then looking at this fire, this flame, burning down his hard-earned resource, where his feeding depends on, where his survival depends on, watching down all he has spent his life building up, burnt down to ash. At that point, he was broken. But what can you say? The last moment we checked, you were trying to console someone who lost a family member. Who consoles you at this point, where the consoler needs consolation? Which Who do you look up to when things doesn't go as you plan? And he was just looking at the ash burned down with his children. His children in that very room, and no one could save them. Tears welled down his eyes. Thank you so much, Afuya. Thank you so much, Afuya. Thank you for having me here. I'm so grateful for having me here, okay? All right. So we're on a series titled When Life Happens. And on this series, we'll be having a couple of persons coming, a couple of your favorite YouTubers. They'll be coming around just to shed light on different angles of this topic, when life happens. So I just hope to every of my viewers out there, you don't miss any part of this series, okay? So this is like the introduction into the series. All right, so I hope it serves every one of us very well. So as I was saying, He was just looking at everything burnt down, and there was nothing he could take out of it. What could he say? The scriptures say, naked I come, and naked do I return. That's life for us. Naked I come, and naked will I return. Another one I could relate with was a very senior pastor of ours. After a retreat, a December retreat, exactly when life happens, after a December retreat, everyone heads home. A very senior pastor at that. And that same night when they went home, the house help forgot to completely turn off the gas cylinder. He forgot to completely turn off the gas cylinder before that morning, the early hours of that day. And the whole house was filled with this fume or smell of gas. Although it doesn't circulate through the house when they came in, but as at around 10 p.m., 10:30, whilst they were already inside, they sent one of the younger one. Okay, the younger child in the house went to boil water, just to steam water for him to use it to take his bath. Other persons have gone to bed. Little did he know that that's why most persons will warn you shouldn't allow children to be the ones, except they are a bit mature, to be the one using this gas cylinder. And the child went, lit the match. The moment he lit the match and to put it on the gas cylinder, the gas have already circulated around the room. It set the entire building ablaze. Husband and wife, 7 children, plus one house help were all burnt down in that same building. Husband and wife, 7 children, one house help was burnt down. How do you explain this? Would you say that God is not faithful? How do you explain this? The same man, early hours of the day, was upon the pulpit trying to preach to other persons. How do you explain this when the preacher is the one to be preached to? How do you explain this when the one who was at the feet of Christ early hours of the day, whereas he has prophesied for someone, this year will end you with a testimony. At other end, he must have prayed for someone be healed. He must have wished someone promotion at the office. He must have prayed goodwill prayers for someone out there. And here he is in the ash of the fuse that was set by this gas cylinder. They tried to rush them to General Hospital, but not even a soul survived that very ugly incident. Life indeed happens. Life happens. And I want to share the major story for this very day. Please, pardon my network, okay? I don't know why it has been this way for the past 3 days, but I hope it will serve us better for this very series, okay? So, I once have a neighbor of ours, more or less, he was superior to my dad. That's in the military setting where I grew up. So, this very man went into the military, precisely the army, because there was no job out there. So, more or less, in Nigeria, people are competing for jobs. A lot of persons are competing for jobs. You don't even know what to do. So, most persons go into the military just for survival, not necessarily because they have the passion for it. Now, in this case, it was the same thing with this man. His dad was also quite younger. And the interesting fact was that this man was very dedicated to the core when he talked about God's things. He was very dedicated. He was an usher. Every role you could think about in the church, he would always be at the forefront just to ensure his God is well served. And for those who are conversant with the military, if more especially if you have misunderstanding with your superior, you can actually spend several years without promotion. And it gets very depressing and very, very frustrating when you are working for several years and you see your younger ones gaining promotion, and 12 years, 15 years down the line, you are still at the same point where you are. So this man, the same happened was it was the same thing in his case. He worked for good 20 years without a single promotion. Good 20 years without a single promotion. This got him all discouraged. It got him thinking to the point that he aged much, much more than his own biological father. He aged so much older than his biological father. He was thinking, always in prayers, to the point where prayers was no longer an antidote for his situation, and he resorted into drinking. The wife, at the other end, having children who were much younger than I, the firstborn, at least I'm there about 5 years to 7 years older than him. So you could imagine how old the younger ones would be. So in this case, when the wife got associated with other persons, other friends, which from this point I want us to take note, please, because I want our recommendation, our opinion, and so on this very storyline. The wife at the other end got associated with other friends because she wanted to just see how to make it out of life. So she went into business. The friends introduced her to um, kiosks, more or less, and the kiosk wasn't getting what she wanted. They introduced her to a couple of businesses that she tried her hands, and the last of it was that she went into selling this. I don't know how to describe it for the Nigerian local parlance. We call it pami or palm wine. You call it pami or palm wine. I don't know how they call it out there at your own country or your own locality, but that's how they call it in my own area, pami. So this woman started selling this. It's a local gin. Started selling it, and as a Christian going to such business, there are businesses that actually would not be in tangent with our faith, and on the later run you find yourself backsliding. So this woman at some point, because of the type of friends, what we talk about peer group influence, she kept she started going, because she had friends who did not value marriage chastity, who did not value the bed undefiled. So they were all cheating with their husbands. So this very woman learned the same practice and got into the same practice with them and started sleeping with other men just so she could get money to come back and support the husband for the responsibility they had to face. And the story had it that the husband became very depressed, that one, promotion wasn't forthcoming. Now, this is the practice my wife was into. Himself got so depressed to the point he started drinking. So you could imagine what that looks like. And he got, now, there is this stage in alcoholism where you get to, exactly, palm wine, yeah, palm wine. So, but this one, there is that one that is prepared with, how is it called? Rice. they prepare it with the not the processed rice, that very raw rice, after taking off the leafy part of it. So some people call it brukutu. For people within Nigeria, they might hear of that word brukutu. Exactly, that's the word for it. So this man, there's I was talking about alcoholism. There's a stage to get into that you start finding yourself either wetting yourself with urine or defecating on yourself, or you find yourself falling off the street. So drunkenness can get you to that point that you urinate on yourself and so on. This is condition, and the drinking added to it got him to the point where he wasn't having the vigor again as a man. And as at that point, he wasn't even having the mouth again in the family. So anything, the wife was virtually controlling him. This woman got so deep into all these practices that she started going diabolic because of the company of friends she kept. So we were even suspecting maybe she had used something to close the mouth of the husband. So whenever the man wants to talk about her extramarital affairs, she will beat this man, she will beat the hell out of him. If not for outsiders, maybe at several points would have even killed the man. So they lived together like that. It continued that way. So the man wasn't even having any voice in the house at all. He couldn't even say anything. It got to the point that the woman was virtually in charge of the salary in the house, in charge of everything. And because of the circle of friends this lady has, she wasn't even paying the school fee for the children. She was like, my parents did not send me to school. So why should I be wasting money on a child? Why should I be wasting money on a child? So she will squander the money on pleasure, just to get pleasure, just to enjoy herself. That's what she will use the money for. And interesting enough, the kind of children God gave this woman, God, I wish everyone out there would have this kind of children. They were smart, they were intelligent, not minding the condition of the both parents. In fact, the woman got to the point she fell into the same drunken state, that state of addiction, that the same thing that this alcoholism would put the husband into was the same thing with the wife. She will get so tipsy that she talks anyhow on the road, maybe fall on the road and so on. And these children, they will feel so shameful for themselves with this kind of parents. They don't even know how to help the both parents out. I don't know how this condition made these children. They were so mature, like so mature that most times they want to advise their parents, but they don't know how to go about it. Because the advice was, someone would say it falls on a duck skin. There is this bed they call duck, duck. So no matter how you pour that very bed water, it will never penetrate. So it wasn't having an effect on the both parents. Rather, they will even shout them down. So these children, what they were trying to do was trying to see if they could get any money from anywhere just to push themselves going. So the grandfather, which is the father to this very man, was the one literally responsible for the school fee of these children. But how far could he help when he has other children too? And this man was at the point where he needs to rest. He needs to rest age-wise. Yes, he was around the age of late 50s to 60s. But at this point, he needed to rest because at least everyone, even you, my viewers, you wish that at the age of some person 45, 50, you should be resting from child training and so on. So this man needed to rest as at this point. So how would he have this rest when his own son children are the one? Thank you, Chiamaka, for having you here. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. God bless you. Thank you, Chiamaka. I believe everyone here are with the life jacket. So if just in case you don't have, let me know, please. So people can connect with each other. I just want to stay a bit focused on the storyline so that for those who are following through, you're able to know where to come in, okay? So thank you so much, Chiamaka, for having you around. I know it's late at your end. That's why I feel so favored and so honored to have you here. God bless you. All right. So the grandfather tried all he could. Yeah, lucky enough, out of, I think there were about five of them, three were able to round up with primary school. So they started high school. But you know how that kind of school look like? Maybe 3 years in one class and so on. That's the picture of how it was. And the other part of the story was that this very woman, her own younger sister and the younger brother was in this. Okay, sorry, the woman younger sister was in the house, that same house with them. And the man's younger brother was in that house with them. Two of them were now another negative influence to these children. How? What do I mean? The sister to this woman started living the same lifestyle with the sister. She wasn't able to settle down on time. And so, what do you expect? She was from this man to another and so on. And the negative story to add to this was that at some point, since she wasn't getting a husband, she wanted to get a child that she can say, once she have this child, even though marriage doesn't come, because age was already catching up with her, even though marriage doesn't come, this child at least will stand as an evidence that at least I had something on earth. Unlucky for her, there's this medical case we call rhesus factor. There's this rhesus factor. For those of us who have not heard about it, it is that condition whereby, let's say a woman is pregnant, and then that child is that rhesus D positive, RD positive on his blood, in his blood system, okay? And then something happens along the time of delivery. Something happens along the time of delivery, and the blood of that very child got to mix with the blood of the mother, or maybe there was miscarriage, and the blood of this very fetus that is lost now gets to mix with that of the mother. The adverse effect is that, yes, either the child, if it was a miscarriage, will go off. There will still be pregnancy, but there is something that is going to happen. Or after this child has been delivered successfully and may even grow up successfully and very well, no complication, no issue. But because this child had rhesus positive and the blood mixed together, any other child that follows, any other issue, any other pregnancy that comes up, and that child has the rhesus negative, that very pregnancy, when it comes from point of implantation and so on, the rhesus negative of that first child will fight every other pregnancy. And so you will see this woman always coming down with miscarriages. So when you see, it happens with, sometimes you might even see a lady who have 3 children. Most time may not even be because she had miscarriage along the way. That's why she can't deliver. It is maybe one of those miscarriages she had was actually, or maybe one of those child she gave birth to has the rhesus positive. So along the time of delivery, there was a mixture. There was a mixture between the maternal blood and the neonatal blood. So every other pregnancy that comes up, this rhesus positive will destroy that pregnancy. So it will never host. So I've seen a case where a woman have, I think it was 3 children, and every other pregnancy that kept coming never stayed. Lucky enough, when they diagnosed her, finally diagnosed that it was because of this rhesus positive factor, they were able to use medication and so on, and she got to deliver another child, after which she never delivered again. So it happens like that. So this was the same case with this very lady we're talking about. After the first child she ever delivered, every other one that follows through, the pregnancy never stayed because she came down with this rhesus positive in her system. And then she also had another condition with her where she can't breastfeed. She cannot breastfeed. In the sense, she can't make breast milk. And this child was so young to even start feeding with and using other improvising method and so on. The baby could not survive all those other ways to even express milk from other mothers and so on to feed the baby. And 3 months later, the baby passed on. So throughout her lifetime, she never had any other baby. And now this is where the story gets interesting. For the side of the father now, he had a younger brother, and the younger brother now happened to be this type that is very social and so on, wasn't selective of friends, and he was introduced into cultism. And when he got into cultism, that was the end for him as long as success is concerned in this life. So his own was that he got into that top cultism, whereby himself cannot move on, whether academical wise or anyhow you want to put it. So since he saw he was not progressing in life, himself too was not allowing any other person to progress. So he has several cases that has to do with murder. Several cases. In fact, there was a time they even wanted to eliminate the man out of job or send, in fact, they have sent the boy several times out of the barrack. It wasn't working. But because the brother kept bringing him, they wanted to send the father off service. And coupled to the fact that this man was into alcoholism, even led to the point that the military had to give him voluntary retirement. They had to give him voluntary retirement. What do you think of that family? Financial wise, they have crashed down. Now, what are the possible things you could expect? You can let me know in the comment box. But one of it is that hypertension will step in. Why? Because he has now given the room to think more, much more than what it used to be. What do you expect? Again, the possible thing that could come in. Depression will set in as at this point. Depression will set in. Now, interesting enough, this is where the story gets more interesting. The wife now, because of the kind of lifestyles and the company she keeps, she came down with HIV. She became HIV positive. From herself becoming HIV positive, the man became HIV positive. And with the man becoming HIV positive, the man passed on. Okay, before the man passed on, I think it wasn't that boy. That boy was it was the wife's brother. It wasn't the man's brother. It was the wife's brother. So the man's brother was introduced. The man's younger brother was introduced into cultism by the wife's brother that was first of all into cultism. So the man's brother, because of this life, even because of smoking and so on, came down with tuberculosis and passed on before the brother. So the brother now, who is the army man, passed on too. So imagine how many conditions. Depression was there, hypertension was there, and then there was another heavy medical condition. Some years later, that same wife too passed on. One day after, at least for a couple of us, we are aware, as at the moment, in the greater awareness of most persons, HIV is yet to get full treatment. Oh, just Umandi, so happy to have you here. So grateful to have you here. God bless you. Thank you for checking by. Thank you for checking by. So this woman passed on. Now, as at the point where this woman passed on, the first child for the both parents, that's both the man and this woman, the first child was not above 24 years as at that point, and the last child was there about 9 years. Who will lead each other? Now, yeah, thank you so much, Jofia. Thank you so much. Please give this very live stream a thumbs up, okay? The topic for those who are just connecting is when life happens. When life happens. So what is the topic all about? It's all about the twist of life. When life decides to give you a twist, a surprising twist. So what do you do as at that point? What are your decisions? What will be your fate? What do you resort onto? So what happened? Yeah, thank you, Frances. So grateful to have you here. God bless you. Thank you for checking up, okay? Now, when this incident happened, the whole children, they were confused. They were confused. They don't know what to do. They don't know who to help each other. And interesting enough, remember I said that these children were so smart. I even pray for those set of children. They loved each other so much. With all these vices, none of them were into cultism. They had none of them picked up all these negative practices they were into. Funny enough, just as we say, there are some things children learn by observation. Hope we know that, right? Children learn better through observation than what you tell them. So, the first model to any child is you, the parent. That's why it's advisable. There is a certain age your children will get to. If you are staying in a single room, please, you need to look for a way to expand that room, to move to a room where you can have your children in a separate room. Because there are some things that you, as the couples, you may be doing. You don't know that your children are learning something negative. They are learning something negative from those very things you are doing. So, because children, their first role model, how do I know that? You always hear them say, my mommy used to do like this, my dad used to say this, my dad used to act this way, my uncle used to do this. You are the first role model. The immediate family are the first role model to those children. So what do you expect from this family? The very first child who was the light, who was the one giving these children direction, who never allowed any of them to be misled. That very first child was the very first one. Around that time, there was a certain time in that barracks, every children from the age of 8 years and above were into culture. Period in time in that barracks, every child and female, both male and female, they were into cultism. And the first child, who was the light, also was now introduced into the same cultism. And from that point was a bit shaking and the downfall of a lot of things. Thank you so much, optimistic. So, as at that point, this first child, whom everybody in the barracks, in fact, including my own parents, they were admiring this very child. They were admiring him. He was like a role model to several children in that barracks. But with his stepping into cultism, he started smoking. And you know, some of these vices, they don't give you time. So sorry for my network, please. So sorry, okay? I'm back. Okay, yeah, the life jacket of Mr. Optimistic, okay? I'm going to give you the life jacket now. That is already done, okay? So please don't feel cool in my palace, okay? It's not allowed, eh? All right. So, as I was saying earlier, when this guy got into cultism, he went into smoking and so on. The younger male was like, oh God, how did my brother get to this point? My brother that doesn't keep any kind of friend, how did he get here? How do I start? Like, where do we start from? So now, the second one now stepped up his game. He stepped up his game. And as at this point where I'm talking about, the second child was there about 19. So the second child was about the age range of 18, 19. So the second child was now the one taking responsibility to guard. With this is new lifestyle, this is new vices he has practiced. The other one would go it got to the point they will go into all this, with cultism, robbery, and all this thing would involve. Carpentry, anything at all he would do. He would still bring the money to help the younger ones to go to school. So when the barracks, they saw that it wasn't helping anywhere, they had to look for a way. They caught all the children that were involved in cultism. As at when the barracks, they were tired of this very menace that was already overshadowing the entire barracks. All the children that were involved in it, they paraded them out of the barracks, all of them. From the age range, they were mostly the age range of 8, 9, 10, 11, 8, 9, 10, 11. They paraded them out of the barracks. With this, the first child was also sent off the barracks. So the grandfather later came and picked all of them and he went home. The second child now, who was the male, took responsibility for others. That if life met them at this point, something good must come out of them. Something good must come out of them. Remember what the scripture will always say: train up a child in the way he should go, and when he grows, he will never depart from it. This child took that responsibility. He said, if my elder brother would derail, himself would never derail. Like myself, you should know the number of years. He wasn't even close to my age. But I would go, including his Facebook account, I would go there just to derive inspiration from him. His posts are so mature. Sometimes I would think, like, how old is this guy? Like, how old this guy to know most of these things? And immediately he rounded up his secondary school, that is his high school. Immediately he rounded up his high school. He picked up the same army form. Today, he's into army. You will never see any of those negative vices in him. The smoking, you will not see it in him. The drinking, that alcoholism, you will not see it in him. And with every single dime, he told himself, because he didn't have the opportunity to go into the university, his younger ones, which is his sisters, they must all graduate. As we speak, one of his sisters have graduated from the university. As we speak currently, as we speak, have graduated. Now, what are your take home from this discussion? When life hits you as hard as this, would you think of depression? Would you think of suicide? Would you think of compromising your stance? What will be your action? Let us know in the comment box. What have you been able to pick up from this very discussion, this very storyline? What have you been able to pick up? Would you, as the second child, when life twists, say that no matter how everyone around and within me tend to go the wrong path, I will still hold on to my status, to my standard? When life happens, what will be your action? What will be your most likely inclination? Where will you fall onto? Which part of the pendulum will you fall onto? Let us know in the comment box what you have been able to pick out of this discussion. What have you been able to pick out? What have you been able to pick up? What have you been able to pick up? A lot of discussion, a lot of things around these very topics will be coming up from other speakers. Yeah, they will be coming up from other speakers, hoping to have us always along this very series. There are a lot you want to learn. There are a lot. So for those, let me not believe it's my network that's making me not see our response. Okay, so I want to start seeing our responses coming as at this point. Let us know what you have been able to pick up. Let us know what you have been able to pick up, okay? Let us know what you have been able to pick up. Let us know what you have been able to pick up in the comment box. What have you been able to pick up when life happens? Is this series what you're checking by? Was it worth your time? Was it worth your time? Was it worth your time? What have you been able to pick up? if you are in similar case scenario, if you are facing similar challenge now, what motivation have you been able to pick up? Who has inspired you along that very storyline when life happens? How do you, what have you been able to learn to deal with unexpected setbacks when they hit at you? How do you want to manage your stress, your anxiety? Let us know in the comment box. I want to start seeing our responses in the comment box, okay? So, where do you find your support? Where would you bounce back to when life happens? Life can be bitter at most times. Life indeed can hit us. Life is no respecter of age, education, gender, race, family, social class, awareness, including your ignorance. Life does not respect it. When life happens, when things twist, when things take the other turn, what would be your most likely option? What would be your most likely step to take? Let us know in the comment box, okay? Let us know. Is this very serious worth the taking? Let us know in the comment box. I want to get our involvement now. I want to get our contribution now. I want to get our contribution because we'll soon be wrapping up. So Charles R. Swindoll told us that life is 10% what happens to us, but 90% how you react towards it. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how you react towards it. So if we were to be the second child in most cases, we would have said, my mom had passed on. My dad, I've lost him. My uncle, I lost him. My aunt, I lost her. My elder brother, who would have helped, who is the most mature and elderly person here, is into something negative. My sisters, how do we struggle from hand to mouth? What should I resort into? There were options of cultism for him too. There were options to go into all those negative practices, to start drinking, alcoholism. He had all the, in fact, he had all the criterias, all the qualification, all the backup to make that decision. In fact, nobody would judge him for even doing any of those acts. So, when life happens, what would be your most likely inclination? Thank you so much, Gist Mandy. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure having all of us here, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll soon be wrapping up. Thank you so much. I think at this point, let me start giving a shout out to my most beautiful family and community on this YouTube street. All right. I earlier had with me here the Manchados. Thank you so much for checking by. She is also a YouTuber. Please, if you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please do want to subscribe, okay? And for those who are just visiting this very channel for the first time, please, and please, we need each other to grow, okay? Yeah, we need each other to grow. Please do well to hit that very subscription button. Do well to hit that very subscription button, okay? We need each other to grow, okay? Then for other YouTubers, other content creators on this very live stream, please do well to subscribe to their channel. We have a couple of them. They are very good. Yeah, you'll find pleasure in their content. We have the Manchados. We have Peace Onangi says. You have who again was here? We have Chefuya for lifestyles and so on. We have Gist Umandi, we have Chiamaka, we have Frances Connor, we have who again was here? We have Optimistic, And quite a number of them, they were here earlier. So please do well to connect with them for more interesting um, content. Just as I always say, jack of all trade, master of none. So you must be known for something. So you must pick out a niche for yourself. For this channel is streamlined to 4 major areas. So you may not be getting gist, those hot gist about celebs and so on from me. But lucky enough, on this very live stream, you have a couple of them. For instance, Gist with Mandy. She'll give you updated information on gist, okay? So you can connect with her. So if you are a lover of confectionaries, you're a lover of kitchen related stuffs, you're a lover of even beautiful sites. You have Chefia here with us, you have Chiamaka, in fact, good number of them here with us. Please do well to connect. Chefia say, for me, I think you should keep your eyes on God. Yeah, you should keep your eyes on God. Wait, have patience, work with what you have. Indeed, work with what you have. Have. Work with what you have. If you think that you will ever have it all, indeed, life may never give you all you want. Life most times do not give everybody the silver spoon. Not everybody what comes with silver. That's why I even appreciate, I think it was it Chiamaka or it was Mandy was saying it the other day. She said, don't envy anyone. Jeffy even emphasized that today. Don't envy anyone in this life. Because this life, this is how life race look like, okay? Look at my 10 fingers, okay? This is how life race look like. Yeah, this is how life race look like. This is how it looks like. So everybody must start from 1 and gets to 10. Everybody must start from 1 here and gets to 10. But not everybody will take the same pathway. Not everyone will take the same pathway. What do I mean? Some persons will start with 1. This is 1. They'll start with 1, 2, and then 5. From 5, they will get to 8, and then they will get to 10. Some persons will start from 1, 5, 6, and then they get to 10. Some persons will start from 1, 7, and then they get to 10. And then there are people that will start from 1 and immediately they get to 10. And there are others that will start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 before they get 8, 9, and then they get to 10. Our journey are different. Our journeys, they are different. They are different. Don't look at someone joining, get yourself all depressed, all worked out. Not everybody is born with silver spoon. What you have is enough to work with you. Remember the parable of the talent, right? Everybody were given based on their capacity. Some 5 talents, some 3 talents, and some 1 talent. God gave you, built you in that shape, built you, put you into that family, because he knew in you was that resource to grow out of every seemingly situation, right? So be patient with God, be patient with your race, be patient with your own life, be patient. So work with what you have. Yes, work with what you have. And indeed, the sky is a limitless possibility. Everybody can still shine. In the galaxy, all stars can shine. In the galaxy of life, all stars can shine. The only issue is that we get so often, so fast to jealous each other. We live our own path, we live our own destination. And I always say speed in the wrong direction is not an advantage. So if you are finding yourself right now on someone's path, no matter the speed you are expressing at this point, it is not an advantage. And remember, I always say that in this life, you can never find yourself in a vacuum. You are either helping someone achieve their goal, achieve their dream, or others are helping you to achieve yours, or you are achieving your own. So that's your jealousy, that's your sadness, might be the inspiration for the person you are jealous, you are envying, to keep pushing to get to their own destination. Get at work with your own destiny. You are the driver of your destiny. Drive it. Steer it towards where you want to see it be. So thank you so much, Peace. Peace say beautiful sharing wisdom. Thank you so much. Beautiful sharing. Okay, thank you so much, Peace. I'm so grateful. It's a privilege. Yeah, it's an honor. It's a privilege. We thank God for all. We thank God for all. So Mandy say, thanks so much for the promotion. Yeah, you're always welcome, my sister from another mother. Thank you so much. Okay. So Frances say, true. Life won't give you everything you want. Indeed, life do not give everyone the silver spoon. Most persons are not born with the silver spoon. Life gives you what is sufficient for your race. Life gives you what is sufficient for your race. We don't have the same path. We don't have the same path. We have different destination. We have different destinations to go. So the person who is on the quickie, the person who is on the fast lane may have little time, may have little time. And so God is just giving him the advantage of mercy and favor so that life, the scripture say, vanity is a life after all the suffering, never spend time to enjoy the fruit of his labor. So mercy, say time and chance happens to all. So maybe God is just giving that individual mercy and favor to enjoy from the works of his hand. And here you are killing yourself with jealousy and envy over that person. Yes. So just work with what you have. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Optimistic. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amaka, for the emojis. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so grateful. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Okay. It's always a pleasure having all of us here. It's a pleasure. In life, you can always get to wherever you wish to if you don't throw in the towel. You can always get to where you want to. So when life happens to you, the scripture say, there is an idiom that say, if what doesn't break you, whatsoever doesn't break you came to make you. And so when the journey gets tougher, the tough keeps going. When the going gets tougher, when the going gets tougher, the tough gets going. So whatsoever doesn't break you, it came to make you. Pick up yourself. Pick up yourself. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Martin Luther King the Jr. say, if you can't fly, run. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. Keep moving. Thank you so much, lovely Oge. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful having all of you turn up for me. Yeah, I'm so grateful. Like, oh God, people are getting me emotional. I just wish I was emotional in nature. Like, maybe by now I would have been tearing. Like, the love is massive. Yeah, the love is massive. Indeed. Thank you so much for having all of you here. So for my non-YouTuber friends, if you see all those persons on blue jacket, please visit their room, okay? Visit them. You will have all the content. As I say, you have to decide a path for you. For me, I'm not good at gisting. So if you are expecting hot gist from me, celebrity gist, you will not get from me. If you are expecting kitchen related stuff, I can cook, but you will not see me coming to do that. So we have a good number of them who are into all those things. If you want business, you can get business from me, but there are other persons you can also get business in other aspects. Business is a big wall. It's a big wall, okay? Their online business, their affiliate marketing, their human resource business is diversified, is broad, okay? So you can also visit them to get other perspectives about business, okay? Marilyn, thank you so much for having me here. Thank you so much for having me here. It's indeed a great pleasure, okay? Thank you, all of you. Hope you have given this live stream a thumbs up. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jenny, for having me here. God bless every one of you. Thank you, Jenny. Let me share maybe this very last one, and then we'll wrap up with it. I would shorten it for 5 minutes so that by 15-minute time we are completely done with the section. Okay. Now, there is this relative of mine, a distant one, and what happened was that when they were giving birth to when they were giving birth to the sixth child, when they were giving birth to the sixth child, when they were giving birth to the sixth child, she lost the mother passed on in childbirth. Yeah, it was it no, it wasn't really childbirth. Was it childbirth? Yeah, it was childbirth. The mother passed on in childbirth. So they looked for a way, God helping, that last child survived. The last child actually survived. So they along the way, when the first child was in SS3, about wrapping up, the father passed on. And then the family was really nuclear in the setting. Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you so much. I'm good. I'm really good. Thank you so much, Jenny, for having you here. Thank you so much. Okay. So, as at the point where the first child was about wrapping up with secondary school, that's the high school, the father passed on. So, life wasn't rosy again for any of them. The first child, and the truth about it was that they were all females. All the children were female. There was no male at all. So they took the bull by the horn that they must make it. That they must make it. They must make it. Let me give Jenny a blue jacket so that she can connect with other persons, please. So they took the bull by the horn that they must make it. They must make it. And what happens was that when the first child wrapped up with secondary school, she was supposed to go in. That's University of Calabar, Cross River State. She was supposed to go in for a higher institution. And then, as at then, it wasn't easy for a couple of us who have been in, at least, who are up to 30 and above, for a couple of us who are up to 30 and above. If you have stayed in Nigeria, you would know that JAMB, before the advent of aptitude tests, it wasn't easy. JAMB have jammed a lot of persons. A lot of persons who never went to higher institution earlier. It was JAMB that actually jammed them. So JAMB have jammed this lady. And at that point, she was like making her last attempt. So she told herself, let me go and meet my uncle. My uncle is teaching in University of Calabar. Let me meet him. Let him help me out. Because yes, it may look as though some settings, there is nothing like man no man. My dear, there are settings where there is still man no man. There is still that connection things. So when she met this her uncle, can you imagine what the uncle requested from her? That's one of the topic. Anticipate this in one of our discussion. There is this thing that goes on within siblings and family members. This inner sexual relationship. It happens between siblings. Do you know the uncle requested for her body in exchange for admission? He requested for that from her. And then this girl was devastated. She was broken down. And he meant it. The girl bounced the door at him and said, this very university where you are, that you will see me graduate from this university. You will see me and all my siblings will graduate from this university with you in it. And she left the office that day. The man said, I am also going to stay alive to see you come and enter this same university. When it was time, God helped her, one of the JAMB. She got it. She got the cutoff point for what she needed to study. And then that was pharmacy. She got it. And then, as at that point, I think the uncle was it the deputy, like the dean, was like the third in command. The uncle was like the third in command. Something happened that the girls folder around the time that they were supposed to process the admission and everything fell into this man's hand. and then the man carried it and hid under his carpet. He hid it under his carpet. And people can be wicked. Like, don't expect wickedness from outsiders. The scripture say, who is my enemy? Who is my enemy except the man of my own house? Who is my enemy except the man of my own house? So this man carried, he was that wicked, carried her fowl and hid under his carpet. And what happened was that the girl knew she had passed and she had met every of the criteria. So she put in to challenge the school that she indeed aced and was worthy to go in for her admission. So the school investigated on the thing. How life had it, the VCs had then stepped into this case and investigated. Lo and behold, they got that very script out and she got the admission. The man tried all he could do everything. How life will always have it, in the twist of fate, was that the man later got implicated along the way and was out of the way. This girl graduated as a pharmacist. As we speak now, amongst the 6 children, none of them is in Nigeria. All of them, some are in Canada, some are in United States as we speak, well-placed jobs and so on. So you can actually take the bull by the horn and make meaning out of your life, not minding the cards that life serves you, not minding someone would say, a wise man once said that if life throws at you bricks, it is left for you to decide what you will do with the bricks, either to build a castle, either to build a bridges, or you build a barrier between yourself and other persons. So when life throws bricks at you, it is left for you to decide what you want to use it to do. So I believe we have been able to sell in very well, and this night I've been a good pilot to bring us safely to the point where we want to say good night. But if you have a word of recommendation, you have a word of motivation, you have a word of advice for someone out there that will be connecting to this very live stream, either through the rebroadcast, please do well to drop your comment, drop your advice, drop your recommendation. I want to sincerely appreciate every one of us. God bless you all. God bless you all, okay? Tomorrow I'll be connecting, same time, 9 p.m. West Africa. So the both of us will be anchoring this same topic, when life happens, on another angle, okay? So please, I will be looking forward to have every one of us. Please, trust me, if I have the whole diamond in the world, if I have the emerald, if I have the chalcedony, if I have all the precious pearl you could mention, I will be giving each one of us right now. I'll be sharing it, not just one, like 1 or 2 and so on. I'll give it more than enough, okay? So I'll be looking forward to have every one of us on the live stream connected, just to grace this very discussion, this very series, when life happens. And if you are just connecting to this live stream and yet to subscribe, please do well to hit that subscription button below, okay? Do well, so that, and then turn on all notification bells, so that when interesting and lively content like this comes in, you'll be the first person to be notified, okay? Then please, if you're here to give this very live stream a thumbs up, please do well to give the live stream a thumbs up, okay? Comment and so on. And for those who connected along the way, you may think you have heard enough. There are lots you have missed, okay? Do well to listen again. And as my mentor will always say, that don't ever think you have heard it all. Most times there are silent points you have missed along the way. So it is upon hearing it again that you now catch up with a lot of things. And please, I'm just pleading, especially for my Christian believing brethren. Please, I want to give a special appeal, a special request. My mentor will be having a program, sounds of revival, especially for those persons who may be connecting from Canada or connecting from the United States. Please, you can connect to that program. It's on my, I've already posted a flyer. That's Koinonia Global with Apostle Joshua Selman, okay? Please, it's always it's always a moment of intense blessing connecting with our programs. Okay, do well to connect. God bless every one of us. And for those who may be going to work or who may be at work at this very point at where this stream is on, I wish all of you a beautiful day at work. Okay, I wish you a sparkling and a buzzing, a bubbling, anyone you want to talk about it, a very rosy day ahead. Okay, and for those who may be returning, I hope you find time to refresh, to freshen up and relax. Get yourself the well-deserving meal you deserve. And if you are lacking option of what to prepare, Jafia is here. Check her kitchen, okay? Connect to her. We have Oge, I think we have a couple of them here. Do well to connect with them. You must have stumbled on, maybe you may stumble on one or two recipes that will interest you, okay? Do well to connect with them. And then if you are about going to bed, yeah, I wish you a lovely night rest. May the angels that protect during the night never leave your bedside, okay? And may the peace of the Lord be with every one of us. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I think I don't know. I don't even know which other dialects to tell us. Gracias, thank you. Which other dialect will I strike? I would have said everybody should type their dialect and let me tell them thank you in their dialect, okay? For my fellow Nigerian brethren, Esheo, Dalu, Nsu, Nagode, Sosongo, Sosongo. Who again, which major dialect is there? Which major dialect is there? I think those are the major dialects. Right, okay. God bless every one of us. Thank you so much. Catch us 9 p.m. tomorrow. I'll be signing out at this point. God bless us. God bless us. God bless us. Please do well to connect with each other. See you.